Before we begin, thank you very much to Caleb W. for joining the Patreon campaign. Thank you very much for the support. Always appreciated. Guys, it is the last of the month. The Patreon is still over 700, which means once we get to tomorrow, we will officially unlock Transformers Prime Season 2 as another set of reviews to do episode by episode. My plan right now is to have all of Beast Machines done in May. In my head, I am literally thinking of something called Beast Machines, where we're going to do some more Beast Machines themed stuff while we review the TV show bit by bit. So I want to make it a big thing. I want to make it kind of like a thing. So yeah, I'm super excited for that. And yeah, thank you for the continued support. I know it's not easy to support people on Patreon right now. I appreciate everyone who does it. Keeps me going. Keeps me making videos every day. Like today's particular topic. This is going to be an interesting one. So I got curious. So we know that, starting in 2007, Bumblebee became the main character of the franchise. He was always popular, but because of the live action movies, because they wanted to bank on that popularity, Bumblebee just became the thing all the time. Everything was Bumblebee. For a time, every wave had to include a Bumblebee, which led to the great Bumblebee glut of the late 2000s. It was a rough time. It was a weird thing, but it does not mean that Bumblebee wasn't popular and didn't sell with kids. Far from it. Bumblebee has always been one of the most popular Transformer characters throughout its history, and that shows in the live action movies. So I got to thinking, how many Bumblebee toys are there now? And then I started thinking, that's way too many to count. That's way too many to keep track of. So what if we dialed it just to the movie line? And I'm like, that's still too much. That's still way too much. So today I'm going to attempt to rattle off just one specific style of Bumblebee. We're going to be talking about every deluxe Transformer movie Bumblebee that there is. And by talk about, I mean, I'm just going to run through them just so you know how many there are and just every iteration of a deluxe Bumblebee from the movies. All right. So that's the video. And we're going to start, yes, with the original, the 2007 classic Camaro, the 77 model, very first movie Bumblebee toy released. And we're going to quickly move into the Takara version, which switched up a lot of the solid yellow for transparent blue that was thusly painted over. So, yeah, more translucent on a figure that's already known to be fragile. There was a Lawson exclusive Bumblebee, which did no battle damage, but everything was in gold, which looks very nice. We move on to the concept Camaro Bumblebee from the 2007 with the switchable weapon. This was the default Bumblebee for a long, long time. Both toys got redecoed for a 2-pack called The Evolution of a Hero. You can see less battle damage on the Bumblebee figure and on the retro Bumblebee. More battle damage on the 2007 concept Camaro. This came out later as the All-Spark Enhanced version with a little bit of extra blue paint apps. Also, a Stealth version was released with a lot of black instead of yellow, which does look really, really cool. I'll give it credit for that. Then we had Premium Series. So remember, in the 2007, they were taken so off guard by the high demand for the toys that they had to rush a lot of product out just to make sure there was toys enough to go around for everybody. So you got a lot of weird things like the All-Spark Enhanced with the light blue, and then you got the Premium Series where you got even like more movie accurate, and this one also came with the battle helmet head. I'll be talking very quickly going through here. This version, even more movie accurate, like on-screen accurate with a standard head. I actually really like the look of this one. This is the Screen Battles version of Bumblebee. That takes us into the Revenge of the Fallen preview version, which added the the blaster arm with the launching missile as well. Let's see, the Cannon Bumblebee, the first new mold for that particular movie. That moves into the Alliance Bumblebee, which is a redeco of the preview version, and then onto Battlefield Bumblebee, a repaint of the Cannon Bumblebee mold. Moving into the 2010 Battle Blade Bumblebee. This was the first time they had really like redid the idea and the concept for Bumblebee from the ground up with much more movie accurate engineering, and everyone really liked this version of Bumblebee. Like this was like the de facto Bumblebee for a really long time for a lot. There's also the Takara release, which switched up some of the colors, a little bit richer in colors on that one. See, if you're really lucky, well, not if you're really lucky, if you had a lot of money. So in Hong Kong there's a convention called Animation Comic Game Hong Kong. Not the catchiest of names, but if you spent the most money there of any other con goer at the Hasbro booth, they would award you with the Fan of the Year Battle Blade Bumblebee in total gold chrome. One of these exists somewhere in the world and is hopefully not crumbling into gold dust by now. Crash Landing Bumblebee with these very cartoony colors. At least they're trying something different, was my reaction, I think. Not the best looking Bumblebee, though, I will be honest. See, this takes us to the Bombing Run Battle, which comes with that little sandstorm. Lots of greens in this one, oddly enough. Like, they threw some green in it, which was a little bit weird. Rampage Among the Ruins. A 3-pack featuring basically everyone Bumblebee filleted at the end of the movie. That includes a Canon Bumblebee again and yet another new deco. Dark of the Moon Mech Tech. Moving on to yet another iteration of the Bumblebee design and mold. I like the Mech Techs a little bit better, I think, because they moved all the gimmick into the big weapon, and I thought that actually improved the toy itself in a lot of cases. Midnight Madness Lucky Draw is the brand new Bumblebee for Dark of the Moon in all silver chrome. Another one that you were really lucky to get your hands on. Nitro Bumblebee, I think, is the one people like attach to Dark of the Moon the most, because it does have that look of a lot of those toys at the time, because they need to take those old characters and stylize them, try to make them a little bit more interesting and marketable compared to the previous releases with constant remolds. So not a bad idea. There's also a Walmart exclusive Bumblebee from the very first mold that came out again. Weird, like 84 color scheme on this one. A little bit odd. The Autobot Daredevil Squad. With the Mech Tech partner and everything. I think it's cool it came with a Mech Tech partner that matched it color-wise. Other than that, it's a really weird take. A silver Bumblebee that still tried to maintain all the yellow in robot mode. Interesting. There's a Target exclusive translucent one with all these floating glyphs, like they kind of like Sam hallucinating in like a Revenge of the Fallen, that kind of vibe. Except it wasn't done around Revenge of the Fallen, which is a little weird. Cyberfire. Oh, right, one of the murder bees that exists, like the most evil looking Bumblebee of all time. Still really like this one. It's actually still a fun mold. See. The Scan series. Oh yeah, let's make a complex movie toy and make it mostly clear plastic. It's the preview mold again, by the way. I actually really like the visual effect on it. I think visually it's super cool looking. I just wouldn't trust that much clear plastic is all. Where are we? Up to another lucky draw. This is again the Dark of the Moon one. All gold chrome this time. Street Side Bot Brawl multi-pack, which is a standard colored Bumblebee with super evil orange eyes for some reason. I don't question it at this point. Neo Scanning Bumblebee, a release that tries to make the Dark of the Moon toy as close to a real-world Camaro design as possible. Much more like muted tones, much more realistic in overall colors. Move on to Age of Extinction. This is High Octane Bumblebee. We've switched from stealth to high octane to describe the black repaint version of Bumblebee. Never was a big fan of this one. Like, the mold always just looked odd to me. The Takara release did soften up the yellow by putting a little bit of red in there, so it's getting closer to orange. It's not a bad take. It gives it like this like really dark Bumblebee kind of look. Now, for the Real Robot Battle event, there was another lucky draw gold chrome. That probably still exists somewhere in the world. There's also a giveaway Bumblebee in all silver, which is from the toy line launch celebration from Takara. Let's see. We move on to the Age of Extinction 2014 Camaro, which is, again, not a mold I was particularly happy with. Like, of all the designs, this one seemed to, like, simplify the way Bumblebee transformed the most. Was never really, like, thrilled with the look of it overall. I guess because Bumblebee's design in Age of Extinction got so, like, sharp and complicated, they probably couldn't turn it into a standard Camaro the normal way anymore. So I guess just hide it on his back and on his shoulders somewhere. We'll just figure it out later. The Takara release does come out looking a little bit nicer. They added some extra paint to the thighs and the upper arms, so it actually does have a nicer and a more cleaned up look to it. And then there's this version. This one got super pretty. This is from the Autobots Unite 5-pack, and this one got to look really, really pretty. All right, here's a weird one. So this is from Movie Advanced, a Takara line, and it's the Battleblade Bumblebee done up in all gold. I am technically cheating on this one because the list is Deluxe Movie Bumblebees. This was sold under the Voyager price point in Japan. Because the toys had shrunken down so much at that point, they considered an old-style Deluxe to be Voyager class at that point. It's not that much bigger, but it's technically a Voyager, but it's a repaint of the Deluxe, so it counts for this list. And that's the argument. Let's see. Movie The Best. So another Takara line rehashing some of the previous molds. So here we get another redeco of, I believe, with the first Camaro Bumblebee, and this one coming with a brand new, like, little minigun weapon. Here we go with another. Was this? Yeah, this was Age of No, this, like, man, I lose track of these Bumblebees so quickly. This is Warhammer Bumblebee, by the way. So you're basically looking at the Last Night style Bumblebee with his big hammer. It's not a bad looking Bumblebee. It's a little bit different. And then the best Age of Extinction, which does a decent enough job of trying to clean up that mold and make it look really, really nice again. Takara really did treat that mold a lot better than Hasbro did. I will say that. Yeah, moving on to the Last Night. So yeah, this is the mold we just saw. Just like this is your standard Hasbro release. There's also a Lucky Draw version of it, which is incredibly detailed. Incredibly detailed battle damage version of the figure, very intricately painted. This is another one-of-one thing, probably hand-painted to get that look. So that's a really unique thing for Lucky Draw to do. Usually they just chrome a figure and call it a day. This took a lot more work than that. It's actually super cool looking. All right. Here's your 2017 Camaro Bumblebee in more standard colors. So this is, your standard Last Night Bumblebee again. Looking pretty good. This is a nice standard Bumblebee. Then we get into the tributes. So there's a 3-pack of Bumblebees, which was a tribute to all generations of the Bumblebee. This is a repaint of the original Clunker from the 07 movie. We also have another run of the High Octane figure with some deco changes. And then we have, once again, the Last Night version of Bumblebee, the 2017 Camaro. So that was all one big box that you got. Moving on, now we get into Studio Series, where we get to really show you how many Bumblebees you can pack into one line. This is naturally the original Studio Series figure, 01. It is Bumblebee in his first 77 Camaro mode. Nice and clean on this deco, by the way. No scuffing, rusting, battle damage, or anything. Takara put a ton of battle damage on it, though. This is a far, far heavier one. This was actually a Hasbro China giveaway. So not Takara, excuse me. But yeah, they did a giveaway version that was heavily damaged. Kind of like the Lucky Draw we just saw. Studio Series 15 was the customizable Bumblebee. I totally forgot that this was a thing. So it's a Baron version of the 01 Bumblebee, but you get tons of stickers. You get like a minifigure of Charlie as well to go with it. And yeah, like a lot of little additional parts to clip on to customize your hot rod. That's actually a neat idea for a Transformer, and you're going to come up with, everyone's going to have their own combination, their own version of Bumblebee, which is actually kind of neat when you think about it that way. Yeah, they don't do things like this anymore, and they didn't do anything like this before, so it was super weird for Hasbro to pull, but it was kind of neat. Because this was also the time of the movie Bumblebee, we also have the classic Volkswagen. This was also based on the previous artwork from the movie when they still thought it'd be closer to the Bay movies aesthetically. So yeah, this one is a little bit clunkier, a lot more shell forming than I would like. But it's unfortunate. It's like one of the few depictions of that Bumblebee in that movie that we got that transforms. You'd think it really could have been done better. I was kind of let down by this one. That said, I do own it, and this one. So for San Diego Comic-Con, if I'm losing track in my list here as I'm trying to keep up with all of these, there's so friggin' many. This is from the Retro Rock Garage, and you bought this one to get those cassettes because this was Hasbro taking 2 of the original Dino cassettes that never left Japan before, finding their original prototypes, their original toolings, the original sculptings, and making fresh tools to do them again for their very first American release. Super cool. And also came with a repaint of each one as well. So a little bit different too. The second pack was the Retro Pop Highway, which is the Volkswagen mold again, and came with the other half of the both original and transparent versions of those cassettes that you needed. Then and now, another repaint line. Another little inset for the movie toys. This is the Volkswagen done up in a little bit more rusted deco. And then we have one of the Camaro Bumblebee, one of the more recent Camaro Bumblebees was redone in then and now as well. Yeah, I'm running out of breath here, trying to get through this list quickly. Then we get into the World War II Bumblebee from Studio Series SS-26. Comes with a hammer, comes with a minigun. Not a lot of people like this one because it's a big shell former, and it apparently wasn't that great even if you like shell formers. A little unfortunate. For Studio Series 27, the clunker came back. This time it had all the rust and battle damage you would expect on that old beater of a car. So that it took them a while, but there's something a little bit more movie accurate. Here's something from Omni 7, their exclusive release of the Volkswagen Bumblebee, with a little bit of deco change and a few extra things thrown in. Okay, Studio Series 2007 Camaro Bumblebee with the battle mask. You're going to see battle masks go on and off on these figures from now on. Again, brand new tooling for the original 07 Camaro. Cleaned up a lot of the engineering. No automorph this time, obviously. Never got around to this one. I'm a little bit tired of Deluxe Bumblebees. I'm tired of Deluxe Bumblebees just doing this video. But we still have a few to go. The Jeep Bumblebee, which I actually did get, and I actually thought it was pretty good. I was actually really surprised at how nice this figure was, considering he's a Jeep for 5 minutes? It's not the longest run a Bumblebee vehicle had, but it is a nice toy. We also had B127 in Studio Series at number 70. More shell on this one than I would have liked, but not bad. We got the Revenge of the Fallen version. Still using the battle mask, but we've changed up the deco a little bit to match that movie. There's also a Nest version of the Jeep at Studio Series 77, with a little running Sam as well. As you know, Sam famous for hijacking a silver Jeep that ended up being Bumblebee. No, I honestly don't know. The Nest decos are always just gray or silver and super dull. Dark of the Moon got a Bumblebee too. This one has his proper head. And it actually does look like a really nice little Bumblebee toy. So no real argument on that one. We go back for the 15th anniversary release. For the 15th anniversary version of Bumblebee, it's the Studio Series version repainted to be even closer to how he looked in the movie, and now he has the proper head as well. So this is one of your more definitive Bumblebees, especially if you like the original movie best. Studio Series number 100 brought us the Rise of the Beast Deluxe Bumblebee, which is just now hitting shelves. Aside from some lack of paint, he does look pretty good. I don't know if I'm going to grab it or not. Might depend on how much I like Bumblebee in the movie. We will find out. Whew. And then we get reissues thanks to Buzzworthy. So here's the Buzzworthy version of the, actually the Studio Series 15 release, because you see it comes with the Charlie. You know, the Charlie that saw the Camaro Bumblebee was with Camaro Bumblebee for about 20 seconds. So, of course, it makes sense. They had a redeco of the World War II figure, which is a little bit brighter and has a little bit more muddy deco in the vehicle mode. Here's another deco for the 74 Bumblebee. We're almost done. We're almost done. We got one more Buzzworthy release. They redecoed and switched up the helmet for the Buzzworthy version of B127. And then the mainline Rise of the Beast Bumblebee, which is another brand new toy just announced and just coming out. If you weren't keeping count at home, that is a total of 72 Deluxe class Bumblebees and all of their variations. And keep in mind, I did not even include repacks that had not been altered in some way. If it had any kind of difference, I threw it into this list. So multi-packs that were just, the premium series figure again, the 07 beater mold again. All those didn't make the cut. So this is counting unique Bumblebee Deluxes. But if we count even like all the releases of Deluxe Bumblebees, it goes quite a bit higher than this. So that's how inundated we've been over 15 years of movie Bumblebees. It's a lot. And I know people who've got all of these, maybe not the lucky draws, but they've got like over 60 and still counting. But some people like their hives, so I will not begrudge them. But hey, if you are a Bumblebee collector, here's your checklist. How many of them did you have? That's the question of the video. So, thank you guys for watching. I hope you were satisfied with your curiosity being sated in this one. Keep count. We're up to 72 Bumblebees, and we're just going to keep ticking down movie Bumblebees, because obviously we're not going to lose Bumblebee anytime soon. So, thank you guys for watching. I will see you next time. Guys, I am facing the most powerful enemy any YouTuber can face, the algorithm, and I need your help to defeat him. Hit the like button, hit the subscribe button, hit the notification bell, and leave a comment. Every time you do, we attack that algorithm and we drive it back until it can no longer defeat this channel. Thank you very much.